High School Musical, the series, season 4 premiered a month ago, and I saw it when it dropped. I just didn't talk about it yet because I had a broken mic, and this video is really a product of that. See, in this intro and outro section, I'm recording it with my newer mic, just in a different location. I recorded the entire review with my roommate's microphone, and it's not the best, but it did get the job done to kind of record my thoughts when I watched the season. But with all of that being said, please know that everything that I will say in this video is just my very own opinion. My name is SW Nation, and let's get right into our review. No cookie cutter, straight to it. Let's start off with the good.
And the good thing that comes to mind here is that as this being the final season, they really honed into the idea that half of these characters are in senior year and getting ready for college. And I appreciated that. The season is about moving on and how these weirdos will find their place outside of East High, outside of the drama club. After season 3, I never thought the chemistry between Joshua Bassett and Sophia Wiley worked. But to be honest, they worked great here and looked great. And while I do think that Ricky and Gina might be the better couple than Ricky and Nene, I do think that EJ and Gina are a better couple than Ricky and Gina. So when I went inside of season 4, I really was not expecting me to like them as a couple. But I did. They looked great together. And I felt like they were directed a little bit better this time around. Whereas in season 3, they were both weird and awkward when they get around each other. So they were trying to hone into the idea that it was clear that they liked each other, but one was already in a relationship and the other one was just there for the summer. Sophia Wiley is a leading lady and an incredible performer. This in season 3 clearly shows her range. It's not Oscar levels, of course, but it's good enough because she acts the best in the show. She is the best actor in the show. Seeing her growth from season 1 to season 2 and becoming the leading lady of season 3 and now season 4, she is a top class talent. I've been following her since Andy Mack. Her and Gal Gadot are my celebrity crushes. I love Sophia Wiley. It should have been me taking over the role of Ricky inside of this show. In fact, she's a better actress than Olivia Rodrigo. I'll say it. My problems with Olivia Rodrigo have not gone away. I still have many problems with Olivia Rodrigo past season 2. Inside of this season, they also do this thing where they flash back to season 1 and have different twists and turns and reveals that worked for being shocking and continuing the series' run of drama in high school. Throughout the entire season, it was more about moving forward and trying to close this whole series out rather than doing the drama and the musical. So I'm gonna get into all of that. But when it came down to the shocking reveals and things like Seb dating the woman that always appeared at the end of the first episode of each season, that was a nice touch. They pull in a lot of nostalgia plays. They have the actors react the same scene that they played in like season 1 or season 2, and I really appreciated that. I have nostalgia for season 1 now. I am in college and I started watching this show my freshman year of high school. My friend put me on. He got Disney Plus before me. I was so jealous, but I finally got Disney Plus, and he said, man, you gotta watch this show. I was like, really? High School Musical show? I'm not really interested in it. I saw the trailer in like July or something like that, but I'm not interested in this show at all. I watched the first episode. Then I watched the second episode. Then I binged all the way through, and then I became instantly hooked. Now I'm watching the show week to week in the year 2019 and then 2020. Season 2 comes out, I'm sophomore year. Season 3 comes out, I'm now in my junior summer going into senior year. Now season 4 comes out, I'm in the summer of my senior year going into my college years. So the nostalgia beats hit me like a freaking brick. The characters are still lively and fun, but also maturing and growing. It's still pretty campy with a whole lot of heart. mixed into it. There's a lot of things that I liked about this season, but with that being said, let's move right into the mixed. And these are not bad things, these are not good things, these are just things I wanted to talk about. They introduce some new characters here, and they also bring back some new characters from season 3. They're fine in the cast. I gotta say, I mean, the new characters from this season, they're I don't like them. I guess you could say that they're fine. They worked for the season, but I don't know. I just didn't find them that interesting, and it was just awkward to have them in the final season of the show, kind of messing up things. In fact, I think it would have worked better if they had the girl and the guy try to mess things up with Ricky and Gina than just having the guy go for Gina. It was so awkward and weird because you can never tell what Gina actually wanted. And I'm going to get into that later because that's a big problem for the season and the rest of the show and her character for me. And I also would have really loved to watch this season week to week. Inside of the season, it plays better as a week to week showing. There's only 8 episodes. I think it's the shortest season, or this and season 3 are the shortest seasons. So it's only 8 episodes, and I really wish that for the next 8 weeks, I was watching High School Musical, the series, season 4. Maybe just to stretch out how long that I could watch the final season for. But with all of this being said, let's move right into the bad. And the bad thing that comes to mind here is that every season leads to a musical, and this season focused more on the relationships and futures rather than the looming coming of the musical. It felt rushed, and the idea that we're all in this together doesn't really come together until the end. And it felt like once the movie wrapped up, we only had 1 episode to actually do the actual High School Musical 3 show. In what world would these students have enough time to put on this whole production of High School Musical 3? I get it, it's a TV show, but this TV show has always been doused in a little bit of realism and took itself fairly seriously, especially from that first season. There's a moment in the season where I lost all belief. Gina gives Ricky, and I'm gonna say it right now, maybe it's a spoiler, I don't know, the season's been out for almost a month now. Gina gives Ricky this hat in like season 1, or I think it's season 2. I'm pretty sure it's season 1 because that's when Thanksgiving was around. So she gives Ricky this hat in season 1. And Ricky was trying to get back with Nene at this time. And then he eventually gets with Nene. He didn't get with Gina until the end of that summer. So you're telling me Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's, Valentine's Day, St. Patrick's Day, all of this time, all the way until August, Ricky didn't look at the tag in the hat to see that it said, "I love you too, Ricky." She literally tells him in season 4, the finale, after he tells her, "I love you," she says, "Do you still have the hat?" He looks at the hat and he looks at the tag and it says, "I love you too, Ricky Bowen." That makes entirely no sense. And the reason why it makes no sense is because you're being to tell me for the next year you didn't look at that hat and look at the tag. Even when you guys started dating, secretly dating, you didn't think to look at the freaking tag. That is such a stupid, contrived way to say Gina loves Ricky. It is such a weird thing to do because it makes no sense. And that wouldn't have worked. Because even if she did write that, thinking that, oh, in a year time, I'm going to have him, there's no way for her to be sure. So she literally just outed herself in the hat, not knowing if Ricky was going to feel the same way. He could have looked at that and been like, yo, what the hell? Nah, this is not cool. No, I don't like this. I don't like you like that. I want Nene back. At the time, he did want Nene back. It's just so weird, and it makes no sense whatsoever. Also, I think my last bad thing here is that Gina is very wishy-washy with what she wants. She likes or loves Ricky enough to grin and cheese at all of his messages, but she's down to have a fake social media relationship with her co-star for High School Musical 4. I think that's very weird. Nene would never do that, and I love Gina. I think Gina's better than Nene. I don't think Nene would ever hear her co-star out on making a fake social media relationship while she's in a relationship and while he's also in a relationship. That was one of the dumbest ideas that they could ever introduce inside of the show, and I'm so glad that it went nowhere. But the fact that they even tried to introduce it just made me sick to my stomach. I was like, that actually kind of pisses me off. Because she broke up with EJ to be with Ricky. And then now, since she's with Ricky, she's down to do a social media relationship with her co-star that she grew up watching on TV. Just because she grew up watching him on TV. He tried to take advantage of her, and she fell for it. Weirdest idea introduction of the entire season. That and that freaking hat. I hated it. That and that freaking hat, man. In conclusion, High School Musical, the series, season 4, can go either way for me. It honors the first season with class and giving us some nostalgia, while also serving as the more mature season, focusing on moving on and futures. On the other hand, the musical gets lost in the groove of everything, leaving us with a rushed final number. I had a great time with this season. Seeing the stars of the first High School Musical come back was pretty cool as well. And I didn't say this in the good, but I actually enjoyed the idea of them filming High School Musical 4 while also them trying to do High School Musical 3 as a theater production. That worked for me. That was a huge good in my opinion. And also, even though I have problems with her contrived situations, this season solidified that the show was always about Gina. And as I'm rewatching the show now, I see clearly that that's the case. And after watching season 4, watching season 1, the small lines that she says, the small little details of things that she do, it is one of the most incredible character arcs I've ever seen in a show like this. I'm giving season 4 an A plus for me and a 9.6 out of 10. And I would say it has great closure for fans of the show. You're going to walk away wanting more, but you're also going to feel very satisfied.
Alright guys, that is it for the review. Please know that everything that I did say in this video is just my very own opinion, and you're free to comment down below. What did you think of High School Musical, the series, season 4? Come back later for all High School Musical seasons ranked. And yeah, like I said before in the intro, this and the intro were filmed in the same day, whereas the whole entire review was filmed in a separate day with a separate mic. So that's why I've really been kind of slacking on content, but all of that is done now. We're grinding, more discipline. With all that being said, like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you all next time. Peace.